Have you guys seen the DDG cameraman controversy? Because I have a lot to say about this shit.
I have seen it, and I'm actually curious to hear your piece on it.
Yeah, I've heard some split opinions, and I'm just like, I have a pretty solid opinion. So there's more context to this than just the clip leads on.
So honestly, I thought that this was more, because again, that's the whole thing with these streaming clips. Is that, a lot of times when you see them, there isn't really that much context. So the context that I saw it in, I thought it was just like a topic of discussion where like people were talking about, oh, cameraman this, cameraman that, and then he was just like, yo, I need to give you guys a breakdown.
Nah, so he had a cameraman. So he had a cameraman, but this wasn't his normal cameraman because I guess he doesn't have an official cameraman right now.
Okay.
His cameraman was doing Streamer University, and apparently it was very hot or something like that. The conditions weren't that great. So it's like it wasn't comfortable for any of the cameramen, right? So what I'm hearing is that the cameraman didn't do a great job, and this wasn't, and he was only his cameraman for Streamer University, and then his cameraman made a video. His cameraman basically detailed his experience working with DDG.
DDG's old cameraman speaks out after everyone called him trash.
Experience being a camera operator. Camera operators are like at the bottom. You know, they treat us like at the bottom. Everything is our fault. Body was given out due to dehydration. Regardless of what may occur at Streamer University, it just didn't work out between me and him. It was mutual, no hard feelings. I got a lot of love for him, and I hope it's mutual. If you're gonna be a full-time camera operator for a talent, especially of that caliber, be prepared to treat it like the mafia. Nothing comes before the mafia. Nothing comes before the talent. Your family, your mental, physical health, errands, what you have to do at the house, the haters and the trolls and the harassment can really get to your head, seriously. I could easily go on a rant disrespecting a lot of people, talking shit. In my experience being a camera operator,
okay,
that was a little bit of a nothing burger. I can't lie to you.
No, but it's not a nothing burger because it prompted DDG's response. This video is why DDG made a response because people were saying like there's a longer video. That one was very chopped up.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
tell.
when you watch the full video, he seems very hyperbolic. So I feel like he has some points, but I feel like he's exaggerating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he said a lot more though.
All right, here's DDG's response. So DDG goes off on former cameraman after they quit over pay. You'll never make as much as us as the person you're filming.
This will indirectly try to diss working for me. But niggas was so excited. Like that shit be blowing me, bro. Like, you don't know how much cameraman's paid. Tell him how much you was paid at this point, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, no, let me put this in y'all brain. No cameraman will ever make as much money as the nigga they're filming.
Cap.
When a McDonald's nigga, a nigga that's working at McDonald's, Checkers, In-N-Out, when they making them burgers, you think they think in their head, damn, bro, I don't want to make these burgers no more because the nigga that owned In-N-Out, the nigga that worked hard as fuck to get to this point in his life to make this much money is making more than me. It's not fair.
Yes, that's what they think actually, yes.
Oh, I made 20 burgers today. I need more money.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
It's not what it is.
It is.
So I don't like how this cameraman shit, y'all trying to diss niggas, but it's like, y'all understand, bro. Like, niggas that work for me, bro, as a cameraman, you live a beautiful life. You travel the world, you meet the coolest people in the world. Like, every nigga that ever worked for me will tell you that. You can't say that you don't. Niggas travel to see shit that you ain't even, you know what I mean? Just because you ain't getting paid a fucking $100,000 or whatever the fuck niggas expecting, that don't mean a nigga ain't spending damn near that much. Flying niggas across the world, putting niggas in nice ass hotels, Airbnbs, feeding niggas. Boy, I'm a great boss, nigga. I feed my cameraman, y'all. All this shit online where we be joking and shit like cameraman don't eat. No, niggas, if we go to Steak 48, you think I'm gonna tell my cameraman to go to In-N-Out? No, nigga, get a Wagyu. Fuck it. I'm rich as hell. Nigga, but I'm not finna go above and beyond paying a motherfucker just because I'm making more money. It makes no sense. This is a business. That's not how businesses work. Just because you're an individual, it doesn't mean that I don't operate like a business. You feel me?
Okay. So what were you going to say, Rex?
I disagree with DDG a lot on this. I feel like he had some points that I could concede to.
Yeah.
But overall, I disagree with his demeanor and the way that he's thinking.
Yeah.
I feel like he's determining the cameraman's value. And like, I get that because he's the one who's paying him. But I feel like I don't feel like the respect came along with it the way when he was describing the cameraman in general.
Yeah.
And like the respect for his job. Oh, you should just take whatever I give you because we fly around the world and all these perks and everything too. I feel like there is a value in the skill of a cameraman.
Yeah.
There's a value in the skill that they develop. And I feel like it's simple as they should get, they deserve their worth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I watched a video that said that allegedly the cameraman or something was paid or his cameraman's paid like $3,000 a month.
Jesus Christ.
In my opinion, I don't think that that's enough.
That's fucked.
In my opinion.
So yeah, I'm actually very curious about your thoughts because you're the person that's like super business minded when it comes to stuff like this.
So the way I look at it is like, if I was given $3,000 a month and like I literally didn't have to spend any of it.
You do though. You have bills.
No, but like,
If
I'm working for him, so that's the other thing too, is like if you're taking on that role, it's like you do have to realize that like not really much else you can do with your time other than be the cameraman. If these niggas are streaming every single day, fucking 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, whatever the fuck it is.
So pay me my worth. What do you mean? Like what job you're paying what job are you working 8 to 10 hours a day and then you're getting paid $3,000 a month, nigga? That means like
but you're getting again, you don't have like you're not paying for anything else. If you're with him all the time.
No, wait. You are paying for things. First of all, you're not with him all the time. You are on call. You are there on call. So that means that he had another video saying that if I want you at 3 a.m. in the morning, you got to get up and out of your bed at 3 a.m. in the morning. That's a 24-hour job. You don't get to create your own schedule because you're on call. You still live somewhere because when you're off call, you have to still go to those places. You still have to fill up your fridge and everything. It's not like he's constantly on the road where it's just like you're traveling with him because he's not. A lot of times he's home, you know what I'm saying? He's in LA a lot of the times. So he's not traveling the world constantly where you're just getting your whole life subsidized constantly. In LA, $3,000 isn't even a survivable income.
That's kind of hard for me to believe that $3,000 is all these guys are getting paid.
Okay, well, if that allegedly, that was the thing, but I feel like his demeanor in talking about it wasn't right. So you think just because I have more money, I have to pay you more money? Look at this. When you come to a stream, what is one of the most important parts of a stream? The cameraman. The cameraman is a big value. I feel like if somebody is a huge value to what it takes to create your product, you should pay them their worth, and you should find somebody who's loyal, who's perfect for the job, somebody who you could have a contract with, where you guys get along with. You guys are going to be spend a lot of time around each other. This shouldn't be like a role where you're just like giving it to whoever could work and hold a camera. Yeah, this is a very responsible job. So I feel like you should. If for me. What's very important and what's very valuable if I make music or something is like the plugins are very important. The mic is very important, all that type of stuff. You invest in those things because they're important to your final product. So I feel like you should pay your cameraman over what's worth because you said you are a rich nigga. You are a rich nigga. So why are you paying a nigga equivalent to damn near minimum wage? That's what $3,000 a month is. That's $1,500 bi-weekly.
I personally think that the actual like market price of a cameraman for someone who's so high caliber, I feel like it's not black and white enough. Like I personally haven't actually really heard from like it's probably because it's just in their NDA. Like, yeah, you can't talk about like how much we pay you or blah, 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 this or that. But like, I feel like I've not heard enough of like, yeah, cameraman, the market price for them is this. If you're going to be streaming this much, if you're going to be on road this much, this is what the price is. This is blah, 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 blah.
There's not going to be a market price because this is a very unique case. There's not many DDGs in the world, but that's the thing. Look at he's making millions of dollars a month. If you're making millions of dollars a month, the least you could do is invest more than $3,000 into your biggest.
I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm trying to say is there are other talents like DDG. There's niggas like Aiden Ross. There's niggas like frickin' Agent 00. Like there's the AMP niggas, fucking Ty Lil's cameraman. Like all these guys that are very high up and do streaming like for their living. It's like I'm sure there's literally a market price of like, yeah, this is what cameramen get paid based on how many hours, blah, 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 this and that. So that's all I'm saying is that, like, I feel like that isn't black and white enough.
There's not a big enough market for what we're talking about. We're talking about 0.01% of all streamers that we're talking about. So the Aiden Ross and Kai Cenat cameraman is probably based off of a relationship.
Yeah.
It's not going to have the same market price. It's going to have different prices. If you're doing Neon, if you're doing Aiden Ross, if you're doing Kai Cenat, there's all going to be different. It's not going to be a market price like, oh, all cameramans get the same. No, it's all going to be different because these are all unique cases where you can't find a market for it. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is that I don't like the way that he was talking about the job as a cameraman because I felt like he was talking down about like the worth of what you're asking for.
Yeah. So, kind of as someone who like consumes a lot of streamer content out of osmosis, it's a big thing in the streamer community of like streamers disrespecting their cameraman a lot. And for the longest time, I always just thought that like the cameraman and the streamer, it was a team effort. Like it was like we're buddies, you know, kind of like how you're a producer, you know what I mean?
Treat him like a lackey.
Yeah, basically. And it's kind of interesting because when we were at the Act show and we're talking to Shorty, I thought that her and that man were friends and he was just recording her. But she was like, nah, like someone just sent him to me and now he's just recording me. So it's just like a random guy that she just met.
I didn't even know
recording.
that.
Yeah, just a random guy that she just met, like record because someone sent her. So I think a lot of that causes the relationships to be like, oh, it's just a guy that records me. But I look at like a cameraman as it's an artistic skill.
It is.
Yeah,
you know, I look at it like a barber. If you're a shit barber, you don't get paid good. If you're a good barber, you get like you celebrity shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't pay them based on how well they do the job as a cameraman, you're diminishing their ability to do a very,
especially
very good
when
job.
you make so much money and that's such a big important part of your job. The way that they're talking about the cameraman job isn't like, yo fam, if I'm doing a mix and mastering skill, that skill, what you're paying for is not only just your song. You're paying for me investing my time to learn this skill. So the people who know how to learn how to work a high definition camera, you have to wear a streamer's backpack or something that's up to 50 pounds and shit like that. You have a whole bunch of equipment on you and shit.
You have to know how to catch good moments, zoom in all the time, adjust the lighting.
Yeah,
the
there's
ISO.
a lot to it. There's a lot to it.
Okay, and that is not a minimum wage job. And first of all, he's saying that you'll never make as much as the person you're filming. Maybe at your level, but not every cameraman works with people who's above them all the time. If I get a music video done, I bet you the cameraman is more successful than me. Like a lot of times, if I'm getting a music video done, the cameraman has way more experience than me. They've worked with bigger artists than me. They've worked they make more money than me.
Yeah, I think he's just talking about specifically like if you're going to be the cameraman for a streamer, it's like chances are because like if you are that high up in being a cameraman, then like you wouldn't be doing live streams for streamers. Like you would just be doing your own shit as a cameraman.
To me, I think that is very ignorant. Because every situation is different. To act like there is no cameraman in the world, because at that point you're just gonna call them a director. Because if they make that amount of money, they're not gonna be holding the camera per se. But either way, cameramen. If we're only talking about his field, saying cameraman will never make as much as the person you're filming, sure, you don't have to disrespect them because I don't feel like they ever thought that they were going to make the amount of the person they're filming. They deserve a livable wage. They deserve a fair wage, and they deserve to get what they're worth because obviously it's a very important part of the business.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that the only reason why he charges them, why he pays them shit, is because there's a high demand for cameramen because lots of people are willing to just do it for the look. You know what I'm saying?
Exposure.
They're going to do it for the look.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, what I think would be more valuable is if you build a relationship with a cameraman that you have a good relationship with and that you know has reliable work, and then you pay them fairly. That's how you run a successful business. Because even if DDG is right, because I feel like honestly the other guy, I heard he was a shit cameraman.
Yeah, he was.
I heard he was a shit cameraman. So I'm not even, him is not, the point is that DDG, I felt like he made himself look bad because the other guy, he wasn't making no noise anyways. This clip is what made people just be like, ew, like I just didn't like the way he's talking about the average working man.
Yeah.
No, it's because DDG has a history of this. He has a history of being a nigga who lost touch with the common folk because he has money now. So when he tries to talk about
the AP, the watches?
Exactly. He has a history of these things. He doesn't understand the common folk. So when he's talking about this whole cameraman shit, he's treating the cameraman because it's like, oh, you should be lucky you get to do all these things. Let's talk about it real. all of that shit is a tax write-off for him. He puts a hotel for his cameraman, tax write-off. Food, tax write-off. Everything he does for his cameraman is going to be a tax write-off anyways.
Yeah, facts.
So it's like he's acting like, oh yeah, you should just be happy. So I'm gonna pay you peanuts. So you just gotta be happy for the opportunity. That is a way to finesse somebody to not pay them their worth. That's exactly what it is.
I feel like that's like a common thing in like the art industry. You know, you like finesse people with exposure. You know, you get paid in exposure and not actually money.
Yeah. And I think that, and honestly, if I was a cameraman, I would take the opportunity too. But that doesn't take away from the point of like, I just don't agree with what he's saying. Can we open up the comments? So?
Yeah.
Let's see. Put it back on screen.
A lot of cameramen make more than who they're filming. They just call them directors. Facts. That is a huge fact. Humble yourself. God gives you, he can take back. Cameramen can easily start an agency and blow your pocket out by sourcing and staffing media crews. Don't ever talk down on talent, nephew. Without the knowledge of a media team, you would be stuck behind a PC.
Facts.
Take care of your people, and your people will take care of you.
Facts.
Pay them people what they're worth. You'll eat those words. Shake my head. Be humble. My son would love your job. $8K a month plus like the perks of traveling and eating is cool. Okay, yeah. Sure. I want to hear from the camera guy. Tap in. I just don't believe in telling someone that they can't or will never do. Who the fuck are you to say that to someone? Be humble and never count anyone out. Facts.
Yeah.
Even the McDonald's point. Let's get real.
That was fucked.
That was fucked. What do you mean that the guy at McDonald's thinks that they never did? Bro, arguably the nigga who's flipping burgers works harder than the nigga who owns the restaurant who could have inherited that shit through family, bro.
We never talk about that actually.
About inheritance?
And because like it's always like, oh, I got like it's like the person who owns it got it because they worked so hard.
No.
But it's like you could have just inherited the business that your parents worked hard for.
Or you could have just inherited money in general and then chose to invest in a business. Sure, you made a right business decision, but why are we talking down on the person flipping burgers? Like lots of people who become millionaires eventually didn't start off flipping burgers. A lot of the people who created...
I feel like I've noticed that DDG is very bad at analogies.
No, he's ignorant. He's just ignorant when it comes to he looks down on the average working folk.
Like, but because of his ignorance, he makes really bad analogies that like just make his point even worse.
Yeah, because like the whole like you're telling me no matter what you think that I was at Walmart. Not thinking about how to level up when I was working at Walmart and shit like that. You think that I wasn't looking at the people who's making more than me and doing less than me and thinking about how I would rather be in that position and how the things I would need to do to get to that position? You think that I was just comfortable making this and you thought I never wanted to earn more? I had no aspirations? You think that once I started flipping more burgers, if I started at a business and it was at the ground up and then I see that now it's a big, huge franchise and I've been there since a jump, you don't think that I would want more money for helping grow this franchise? Are you dumb?
And I think the mentality that like, no matter how good you are at this job, you'll never make more money is so fucked because
it's wrong.
Because what that does is it just creates an environment of mediocrity. Literally.
Like, look at the nigga who shot Lyrical Lemonade. He's a video man. He's a cameraman. He makes more money than a lot of people who he actually shoots for.
Yeah, but again, I think when he's talking about, I think he's literally just being specific about you are a IRL cameraman.
Okay, but I think
like
that you are making it specific to take away from the actual point that he's talking down on everyday working people because he makes more money. So it's not about the specific.
No. I'm going specific because you guys are making it like, yeah, well, if you're a cameraman, like, yeah, you can make your own agency. Yeah, you can become a director. Like, yeah, you can be a actual real media agency that grew into it from starting out as a cameraman.
Yeah.
Like, yes, that's obviously true because you can start somewhere and grow and be into whatever you want to choose to be. But if he's saying like, yeah, like if you were just a IRL cameraman and that's all you know how to do and you don't go anything beyond that and you just be an IRL cameraman, then yeah, you're not going to make the way he delivered it. Again, I obviously agree. Absolutely terrible. Like you shouldn't be saying it in that way. If he was like, hey, if you want to level up as a cameraman, these are some things that you're going to have to do. You have to go outside of just being the cameraman for a live streamer because it's peanuts.
I feel like Rooks agrees with DDG.
Yeah, he does.
And I feel like he's just not saying it with his chest. But I feel like it'd be easier to be like, I disagree with DDG. What's your stance?
No, I disagree with him for sure. I disagree.
How do you feel?
Fam, I said everything I wanted to say.
Yeah. No.
Rooks never takes a
You know what? You know what it is. You know what it is too. I feel like
Because it's not.
I
It's
feel
not
like
everything that he's saying. I don't agree with.
But
That's
you
what
agree
I'm
with majority his point. I feel like his majority point of the way he's looking at the whole situation, even though he articulated poorly, I feel like as a capitalist, you agree with his point.
Yeah.
And he would charge his cameraman $3,000 because he thinks that's fair. Hey, I'm already charging. Hey, you got wagyu, nigga? You got wagyu?
I would also say that low-key, again, this is just based on like what I've seen, like how he expresses himself on the screen. But I feel like you're giving DDG a little bit too much of the benefit of the doubt, because like
in terms of what?
In terms of like what he actually meant by what he was saying. I think that it was actually coming from a place of like actually like ignorance of like
that's what I was saying. I was like, what everything he's saying is it's very bad delivery. It's super demeaning. It's like you guys literally said. It's like, yeah, if you are a cameraman, you're never going to make more. Bro, no, you don't say shit like that.
So my question to you is like, do you think that there was a positive message that he was trying to give out to the world, or do you think that okay.
Would you pay your cameraman $3,000 if you're making millions?
No, because that doesn't make sense. But that's what I'm saying is like there's no.
So we all agree basically. Okay.
But no, that's what I'm saying is like I feel like there's no like, because you said it's a very small niche of people that need an IRL cameraman, and
I would want someone reliable, bro. Someone who I know I wouldn't want to have to find a new cameraman all the time. I'd want to develop a relationship with him and pay him super fairly, so he never wants to leave me.
Right, but because it does mainly come down to synchronization. Like, does your lifestyle synchronize with the way I want to work? Right. So again, like I said,
apparently, sorry for cutting you off. I don't know if this was for Kai or if it was for DDG, but I watched a video on this earlier, and someone said that I think that he had a cameraman before that got his own clout and started streaming himself.
Yeah, I mean, as you should, and I can't remember who. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. It might have been Blackboy Max.
Yeah, I think it might have been someone. Yeah,
and it's just like, Blackboy Max was just like, yeah, bro, like I want people to be doing that shit. It's just like, bro, you know how many people want to be my cameraman? That's not hard to find. What's hard to find is someone that's actually good at it, right? But it's like, again, that's...
I just feel like he needs to be respectful. He needs to be just more aware about how he's perceived. Because I just seen this and I didn't like it. As an average working man, it rubbed me the wrong way. Just the way that he was talking about a cameraman's job.
Yeah. So what I was kind of gonna get to is I've seen clips of him where it's like you see it, like you see the crack, because a lot of the streaming stuff is all like improv. You have a character that you're trying to play on screen. You know what I mean? And sometimes they kind of slip up. So basically, there was a conversation between him and Ben Dadon, and Ben Dadon was like, "Nah, like if these niggas knew how you were off screen, like."
They would hate you.
Yeah, and he was like, chill,
I'm
bro,
fucking dead.
And I was like, bro,
I fuck with DDG, but it's believable.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
He really gives dickhead vibes. Like he really thinks he's above people because he has money, bro. He talks like Joe Budden does it all the time. I hate it. Like Joe Budden does it all the time. Whenever Akis gets into an argument and someone calls him fat and he talks about him being rich, I'm like, weak, nigga. Like I just don't like the whole money talking down to people thing. It just gets old after a while. Like you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're a flawed individual. Like, okay, you're flawed with money.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do 100% believe that. Honestly, most streamers that I see, I just feel like, yeah, there's no way that you're actually like this.
Like that, facts.
Off of camera.
Facts.
You're a whole different person when you're off camera.
Yeah. So, want to move on? What else we got on the itinerary?